Royals baseball on a beautiful day on both sides of the bay. And here in Oakland, it's game 3 of a 4-game series between the Royals and the A's. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals so far this year have dropped 4 of 5 against the Oakland A's. So when you start talking about what they need to do to get back on track, you can begin with keeping the ball in the ballpark. That's been a challenge.
Yeah, and it is a challenge for a lot of pitchers in today's modern game, the way they swing for the fences. But you can remedy that by executing your pitches. But you're going to have to stay out of the middle of the plate. Duffy has the opportunity to be able to stay around that zone, but not in the middle. If you do, these hitters are not missing, and they're really showing a lot. 10 home runs in 5 games against the Royals this season. That's too much. That's got to stop.
And those are Kubota power stats for the day. Hud mentioned Danny Duffy. He's turned the corner in his last 3 starts, and he has always pitched well in Oakland. The Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. The Golden Gate Bridge on a beautiful day in Oakland, California. 65 degrees. Going to get up around 70 degrees today, and very few clouds are in sight. And here's Ned Yost's lineup for the Royals against right-hander Chris Bassett today. Mike Moustakas will play at first base for the first time, and mostly because Ned said he wants to see Hunter Dozier in the outfield. So Hunter will play in right. Ryan Goins gets another start at second base. Paulo Orlando will be the DH, and Ramon Torres will be at third. And Ned will be without Jorge Soler, at least for today. He's going to try and give him a little extra time to rest his left foot. Our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. Jorge is day-to-day with a big toe bruise on his left foot. He finished that at bat and then came out of the game before the bottom of the second inning. But the x-rays are negative. Chris Bassett is going to start for the A's today. He was called up to HUD. He had an ERA of over 6 at AAA when the A's called him up.
Well, when you got all those starting pitchers on the disabled list like Bob Melvin does, you got to go down there and pull up whoever's healthy and available. But look, Bassett, he's willing to take that rock and go with it, do the best he can with the opportunity. Fastball, slider, curve, and change, not overpowering. 92.8 miles per hour on is the average fastball. But watch out. He does like to use his changeup. That's been one of his more effective pitches, but it's only 7% of the time. So he's going to use all 4 pitches for sure. And defensively, Kahana's getting a start in center field. He's a nice outfielder. You can play him anywhere, and he's a valuable guy. He likes to hit left-handers. He's got pretty good numbers against lefties. Pinder in left. He's a utility-type player. Chapman, Simeon, Laurie, and Olsen at first base. It's a solid infield. Bagley getting the start today behind the plate.
Bill Welke is the crew chief. He'll be over at first base today. And since this is a 4-game series, he'll make his way to home plate tomorrow. Tony Randazzo is behind the plate. Lance Barrett is at second. Sean Barber is at third. Royals have seen Chris Bassett with the A's. They've also seen him with the White Sox. That was his original organization. He is 29 years old. And the last time he pitched in the big leagues was 2 seasons ago.
That's a long time, you know, and especially for him. So he's really pumped about his opportunity here. Now, the best time to get him, and how many times do you hear us talk about it, is the first inning. Before he can settle in to get any of his pitches, figuring out which ones work, time to get him.
Hayes pitching so far has held Whit Merrifield to 1 for 8 in the first 2 games of the series. Bassett's in with a strike.
First pitch.
Bassett pitches out of the stretch. He has used that abbreviated windup before, and that was the influence of Sonny Gray when they were together here with the A's, and we're seeing more and more pitchers. We'll see Danny Duffy today pitching exclusively out of the stretch. And there's a shot into center field, and Whit is on to begin the game.
Nice start. And the Royals have not had issues, you know, scoring early in games, and that's something. But they're getting to a must-win situation here for morale. They've got to be able to do it. Set the table up like Whitley. Good swing on a pitch out over the front like that. They need to take it to Bassett and see if they can get him out in a few innings. Get into their bullpen.
Mike Moustakas batting second today.
Hitting with Whitley at first base is nice, because that pitcher wants to get the ball home quickly. Moose could be seeing a bunch of fastballs early in the count to try to get it, help out Fagley throwing out Whitley.
And Moustakas hits a line drive to Chapman. No double play. Now, I was just going to say, when we showed you the defensive setup there, you know, another way the shifts have changed the game. Now, your prototypical number 2 hitter was someone who could hit the ball to the right side with a runner at first. You got the first baseman covering, you got the middle of the infield double play depth. And so as the number 2 hitter these days with the shift, you got to figure out how to go the other way, and Moustakas did that, but he hit it right to Chapman.
First dose of bad luck today. Great swing.
Slider for a strike to Salvador Perez. Salvi has the best RBI per at-bat rate of his career. 1 RBI every 5.5 at-bats, but the Angels and A's have pitched him well on this trip. He's driven in 1.
With the double play, grounding and double play issues this year, the Royals have had. This is an opportunity here to salvage. Think the other way. If you get a pitch out and away, go with it. Keep you from rolling over your hands into the left side. Just a thought. We've had a lot of would-be innings for the Royals this year taken away by the quick double play. So, you know, you can't control where the ball goes lots of times, but your thought process can help you by looking to middle away or hit one over the fence.
Right to Piscotty in right field. 2 outs. There's a little haze right now, and that's a good thing. Twilight on Thursday night was an issue, and a ball lost in the twilight helped the A's score 3 and win that game. Well, during the day, this is an awful sun field. So right now, Pinder in left and Canna in center are grateful for that haze.
They are, and that the Coliseum, it's built low. The stadium is low, so therefore there's more blue. That's one of the reasons why it's one of the toughest sun fields. Some stadiums are built up high and they're right up at top, and it takes away from the blue in the sky. So the fact it's lower makes it harder.
Want to know on Alex Gordon, who had 3 hits last night. It's a nice backhand stop there by Fegley. And over his last 3 games, Alex is 5 out of 11 and driven in 3.
Getting a start in that 4-hole. Go ahead. Sometimes when you see your spot in the 4-hole, the run producing spot, it gives you a little extra. Hey, my manager has confidence in me, and I'm going to drive in some runs today. Ooh,
sounded like it nicked him.
It did.
Well, if you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's how you want to get hit by a pitch.
You better believe that.
Batting in the 5th position.
Yeah, that didn't hit him. That hit his jersey.
Perfect.
Dozier.
4th time he's been hit.
So 2 on for Hunter Dozier, who bats 5th. He has hit safely in his last 5 games and 8 of his last 9 games.
Get a little 2-out ribby for Duffy before he toes the slab.
Missed the target, but it was still a strike. When Hunter was first called up, he hit into some bad luck, but still he looked up on the scoreboard and his batting average was 172, but now well over 300 in his last 13 games. Big slow curveball, no balls, 2 strikes.
After that 94 fastball he threw him, he says, all right, let's see how you hit this one. Perfectly located down out of the zone. So now a hitter, this count, you've seen 2 pitches, 0-2, a little bit defensive here. But go ahead and anything close, and that one was not. Anything close, be hacking. Don't take a call third, especially when your offense has been struggling like the Royals offense has been. The last 8 games, they're just scoring 2.3 runs per game. They've got to find a way.
Runners go. And that's a called 3rd strike. So twice in that at bat, Fegley was set up down and in. The pitch missed, but it was still in the strike zone. So Dozier takes a called 3rd strike, and now Danny Duffy to the hill for the Royals today. Here's the Oakland A's lineup against Danny Duffy today. Nick Martini, the former K-State Wildcat, was shipped out to make room for Chris Bassett, so we will not see his first major league hit. Now everybody in Manhattan was excited to see that. But Danny Duffy, even though the A's all season have struggled mostly at home, they've been swinging the bats well in this series. And Marcus Semien has led the way. He is 5 out of 8. Here's Duffy's breakdown for 2018.
Yep. Go ahead with the fastball. Establish it. Use it. Hit the corner, stay out of the middle with it. He understands the power that the Oakland A's have. Not as much here. We've talked about they hit more home runs on the road, Oakland does, than they do here at the Coliseum, but they're more than capable. So if it's important to establish the fastball, bring in his breaking ball and his changeup, those are good out pitches. There you go. Get the outs with the contact. Forward around the horn. Royals on defense. They've been good. And Alex Gordon has been great. Whitley plays a fantastic center field himself for all the other positions. How about Dozier in right field? That's one of the reasons why Ed wanted to see him out there. Put him in there, see what he can do. Moose at first. Check him out. The Moose is finally getting a big league start at first base. Good for him. More than capable. We'll have to keep an eye on his footwork. That's probably the biggest difficulty playing first base for the first time, is not worrying about your foot, your feet. Just catch the ball and get the out, just like you did in the schoolyard. You were playing in elementary school or junior high.
Arcana with 1 out. Been very good this year against left-hand pitching, so he gets the start in center field. Sliders in for a strike. Danny Duffy really hit a low point 4 starts ago when he faced the Yankees at Kauffman Stadium. He gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. And ever since then, he has been a much more aggressive version of Danny Duffy, like that. Fastball at 93, right by Canna. His percentage of fastballs has gone up dramatically over his last 3 starts, and with it, he's been more successful.
And you can tell, the opponents can tell. They all can feel it, because he's going back to the dugout and they're saying, man, he's got a lot of life to his fastball today. And Duffy knows it, and so does Salvi. So that's what you. And Duffy, a few starts ago when he talked about getting back on the beam, he knew he had to use what got him here. That's his fastball.
0-1 on Jed Lowry. That was our Kia drive to success. ERA is under 3 over his last 3 starts. No balls, 2 strikes. And it takes 10 pitches for Duffy to throw his first breaking ball, so he's right after the A's with his fastball again today. And working quickly. Fastball, and that's a 3-pitch strikeout. 95 with that one. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. And no score at the end of 1. Alcides Escobar will lead off the second inning. Remember, if the Royals hit a triple in today's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. Chris Bassett out of the windup, which is interesting. He pitched only out of the stretch in the first inning, and then I noticed in between innings he went back to the windup, and now he begins the second inning pitching out of the windup.
A little more arms and legs.
Lifted to left center field. That's Mark Canha, the center fielder today, making the play on Escobar.
Well, you know, let's check him out. 6'5", 220. He's a big guy. He's tall. You know, he wants to use his leg. But watch his glove. That's from the set position. His glove arm swing can be distracting to hitters. The guys that throw their glove out there ahead of the release point, ahead of their ball, sometimes can throw a hitter off. Now he's.
You think he would do that to throw the hitters off? You know, I'm going to pitch out of the stretch this inning, and I'm going to go to the windup next inning.
It's possible because you can tell it's a lot longer of a delivery, and it has. You know, it's not going to get much more velocity on that. Monty's already told us that many times. You can go from the stretch or from the windup, and it's not going to make that big a difference as far as the velocity goes. But it certainly will for deception of the hitters and deceiving the hitter.
Ryan Goins gets one inside the right field line, and that'll go all the way to the wall. And he will stop at second base with a one-out double.
Goins taking that 87-mile-an-hour pitch and driving it. I mean, that's great to see. You know, it's okay to stay at second base. There was one out. You want to get thrown out. But that's a nice opportunity for a runner in scoring position for Paulo.
Paulo is the DH. And I'll admit I was a bit surprised when I was writing that down, because right now Paulo's biggest contribution as a big leaguer is defensively. He's one of the Royals' better defensive outfielders. But Ned Yost said before the game he wanted to get a look at Hunter Dozier in the outfield today. So that's why that rotating designated hitter makes its way to Paulo Orlando today. No balls, 2 strikes.
It sure makes it harder to help the team win one-dimensionally. And you know, when you play defense, you have a chance to make a good catch, save a run or two, and it kind of helps you if you can't help them with the bat. So when you're the DH, the only way you can is with a bat. And wouldn't that be nice? He's down 0-2 here, but if he could just somehow find a hole, with the outfield playing pretty deep, should be able to score Goins.
Still 0-2. Paulo becomes the 14th different designated hitter for Ned Yost this year.
And there hasn't been one of those designated hitters when I've asked him how you like DH, and he said, I love it. Not one. That's set up for a 10-year veteran, a guy that's got a lot of time in, who can handle that, and mainly power hitters. Guys that can handle the mental stress of not playing the other side of the ball. It's hard. It's like having 4 pinch hits in one day. You hope.
Goins was bouncing around near second base. I think he thought he had Bassett timed perfectly, but started to go before Bassett went to the plate, so he had to scurry back to second when the pitch was being thrown.
Helps when you have your base coaches. Mitch Meyer at first base, Mike Jersley at third. They're your guys that yell, and they tell you he's coming in easy, close.
Back into center field, and here's Goins around third. Canha will play it to second base. Paulo Orlando gives the Royals a 1-0 lead.
Nicely done. And Paulo, in his productive years, has always used the middle of the diamond. His most productive season he had a majority of his hits, and he hit high average for runners in scoring position. Good swing. Didn't try to do too much there. That's exactly what the Royals need to do all afternoon.
And now Ramon Torres. Torres did not play in the Royals Angels series, and this is his second start in this series. Curveball's inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. There goes Paulo, and it's fouled away. Okay, think I figured out what Chris Bassett is doing today.
Okay.
Remember when the Rays started Sergio Romo with the thinking of, let's get a reliever who knows how to warm up quickly, get through the top of the order.
That's right-handed heavy.
And then they bring up in the starter in the inning after that because he's facing the bottom of the order.
Right.
That's what Bassett's doing. He was a reliever for the first inning to get through Merrifield, Moustakas, Perez, Gordon, Dozier, and then he became a starter in the second inning.
Because
that's what he was doing.
Wind-up, yeah. Okay, I can follow that. But regardless, the Royals losing 6 in a row. They're desperate to get a reliever or a starter, just bust somebody. That's it. I like the fact that Ned put a little hit and run on. That's always good. Got a guy like Torres, hasn't had a lot of action. It makes it easier on the hitter when you know you got to swing at a certain pitch. And it just the next pitch. You got, no matter where it is, you got to go and then make something happen sometimes.
Two and two. Another nice stop by Fegley. He has been called up by the A's since we last saw them in Kansas City. Bruce Maxwell was backing up Jonathan Lucroy, but now Fegley gets the start. Lucroy's had some trouble with lefties, left-hand pitching this year.
And you know, that was an excellent little backhand pick. Now Paulo in 16 had 14 stolen bases. He can steal bases when they want him to.
Wasn't able to stop that one. That's it. Forget everything I said about him.
No, that was a little bit high and tight on Torres.
It is a wild pitch. And now runner at second with 1 out. Torres has taken the count from 1-2 to 3-2. You know, Bassett, I want to say he's been wild the first 2 innings, but he's missed the target quite a bit. And I think the reason Fegley missed that last one is not because, you know, it was that far inside, but he was set up down and away, and that was up and in. Coming over from left, Chad Pinder to make the play for the second out.
Hey, Wildcat fans, get your theme ticket now for K-State Night Friday, presented by Rally House and FSKC. Cheer on your 2 favorite teams with an exclusive Royals cap featuring the Power Cat logo and colors.
15.
Redeem your hat at Gate A with your theme ticket at at 5:30 p.m. before the Royals take on the Astros. Torres had the right idea there, but the off speed got him under it just a little bit out in front, and he popped it up.
Curveball in for a strike to Witt. He opened the game with a single to center field. And that's well hit to center field, but Canna is there. And he's got it. The Royals get a run. Goins doubles. Paulo Orlando gets him home.
Royals on top, 1-0 here. Bottom of the second inning in Oakland, and their big star designated hitter, big home run hitters coming up here. Duffy, like he had a nice little 1-2-3 inning in the first. Watch out, he's hacking, he's swinging. Powerful.
Home runs come in bunches, and that's happening for Chris Davis. He's hit 4 home runs in his last 4 games, including 2 last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he's hitting .467 over his last 4 games. We've already shared this during the season series between the Royals and the A's, but if I had said to you, who has the most home runs since the beginning of 2016? How many guys would you guess before you get to Chris Davis?
Probably about 5 or 6, maybe 7.
Well, he's the answer. More than Giancarlo Stanton, more than Edwin Encarnacion, more than Nelson Cruz, more than Nolan Arenado. Chris Davis with the most home runs since the beginning of 2016. There you go, 102. Off the end of the bat, a lot of side spin, but Goins is there. 1 away.
Hey, there a Moose made a put out.
And with more on that, here's Joel.
Yeah, Mike Moustakas' first big league game at first base. Remember on that getaway day in Boston, May 2nd, he was supposed to play first. He had been hurt the night before, but he ended up, after being in the lineup at first, sliding over to third base and starting there after all. That morning, I called George Brett because George had spent so many games in his career playing third before moving over to first. George's 751st start in the major leagues was his first at first. Moose's 861st start in the big leagues is his first at first. And what George told me that day was, he said, first off, it's a lot of fun. He said Moose is going to have a lot of fun playing first base. George just remembered that a bunch of guys had been hurt, and so they moved Jerry Terrell into third base, and George says, I went over to first and I was just a total debacle. I was missing pop-ups, I was going for everything, and then I settled down. He said the biggest difference at third, you go for everything. At first, you just have to anchor it. He said, I drew a line in the sand and said, Frank White will cover all of this, and I'll handle the rest. Talking to Moose walking in today and Escobar, Moose turned to Esky and said, as long as Esky throws it at my chest, and he pointed to his chest and he said, Aki, bro.
You're right, Joel. Look, it's a lot of fun. How about that? A little hole there for Olson. I mean, it's just different. Whenever you've been playing one position your whole career, now you get to move to the other side of the diamond. You don't have to worry about the throw. And Moose, of course, has no trouble throwing from third base. But it's just a lot of fun here. Now watch this. This is Moose's. Watch him. Here's his first. There it was. Keep that foot on the base. Yeah, got to keep it on. Nicely done. Routine. But if Escobar or Torres do throw a short hop to Moose, he'll naturally use his gifted hands. He'll pick it. He won't have any issues.
Matt Chapman with 1 on, 1 out. A few weeks ago, I was talking to Mike Jershely about Chesler Cuthbert and asking him how he felt Chesler was doing over at first base, and talking about the things that guys are not expecting when they shift over to first base. And watching Mike Moustakas on that throw, one thing that Jersh brought up, he said, you know what surprises guys is the timing of when to stretch. You don't want to stretch for the ball too late. You don't want to stretch too soon. You got to figure out how to stretch to your right. You got to figure out how to stretch to your left. You know, Eric Hosmer was really good about stretching into foul territory to avoid a collision. That as much as anything else is the adjustment for someone who has played somewhere else on the infield and going over to first base.
Yeah, you could really put yourself in trouble if you tried to think of all those things. But you know, being a natural infielder like Moose is, it makes it easier than an outfielder coming in to play first for your first time. But he'll just naturally just play the way he can adjust in game. Because the less you think, the better off you are.
Here's Whit Merrifield over at first base. That's a tough play there. I mean, I don't care how much infield you've played. How many times are you stretching like that to your left and pulling the ball out of the dirt, you know, and trying to keep your right foot on the bag the whole time?
No, it's an adjustment.
Cascotti hits one to right field. So first chance for Dozier as he looks up into the glare. Olson tags and he'll go to third.
Hey, Duffy using that fastball and he's getting outs with it. That's on the inner half. It wasn't right in the center. It was on the inner half and he beat him. Popped him up.
Duffy's 5th out today is in the air. Remember on Monday at the Angels, all 15 of his outs were in the air. First time in Royals history that a pitcher's first, and all for that matter, 15 outs were in the air, either on the infield or in the outfield. Out to Goins. And today, Duffy is a ground ball pitcher. At the end of 2, the Royals lead 1-0.
T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
That's Larry Carter chatting with Danny Duffy in the Royals dugout. LC, longtime member of the Royals organization and right now the minor league pitching coordinator, and is filling in for Cal Eldred, who is back in Iowa right now as his daughter is graduating high school. Mike Moustakas lined to the only infielder on the left side in the first inning. He'll be followed by Salvador Perez and Alex Gordon. Two balls, one strike. Chris Bassett pitched out of the stretch, even with nobody on in the first, and then went back to the windup where he is right now in the second inning. Two balls, two strikes. The A's haven't been able to decide whether they want Chris Bassett to be a starter or a reliever. This is the third time he's been called up this year, but he didn't pitch the first two times. First time they sent him back, they wanted him to pitch out of the bullpen. Second time they sent him back, they wanted to stretch him out to be a starter. And I went down and asked Dallas Braden, former A's pitcher, who is their television analyst now, and Dallas thinks that, you know, being kind of a swingman going back and forth, that he probably used the first inning just to kind of get in the groove, worry less about his mechanics, just get nice and comfortable on the mound, and then once he had an inning under his belt, then he went back to the windup. Mike Moustakas is a tough luck 0 for 2. That's the second time he's lined out. Pinder makes a nice play in left. One down.
Oh, that's just rats. Kidding me? That's twice.
Number
He's hit
13,
balls that had base hit written all over him. Well, it's one of the things that can frustrate a hitter.
Salvi flied to right in the first inning. Look out. Is that the ball boy we see on highlights every now and then, who'd make diving plays over near the A's bullpen?
Could be. I haven't scouted him enough. But I love to see aggressive ball boys. Or ball girls or ball men.
At the knees, 0-2. Got him to chase the high fastball and popped it up into the sun. Lowry back onto the grass. Two down.
Treat your dad to a special day at the K this Father's Day. Come watch the Royals take on the Astros on Sunday, June 17th. Be one of the first 10,000 males through the gates to take home a pair of Royals barbecue tongs. Head to royals.com/promotions to purchase your tickets.
These are basically
Tongs.
wrapped with sauce.
Good day here in Oakland to be out tailgating in the parking lot. They did a lot of celebrating last night with the Golden State Warriors winning another NBA title, and fireworks going off as soon as this game was over.
Music. It was a big party.
No balls, two strikes. Alex was nicked on the jersey his first time up. That's the shortstop Simeon from shallow right. Getting over. Bassett has his first 1-2-3 inning. Kansas City is brought to you by Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Pick your power, fuel, or battery with Steel. Search STIHL. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And if you get a Dodge, you can drive out to San Francisco and go down Lombard Street, which used to be advertised as the most crooked street in the United States. No swing. 1-1 on A's catcher Josh Fegley, who's batting ninth. Good changeup, 1-2.
Fegley, he's got experience. Royals fans might know him as a White Sox. That's where he got his first few years in. He's in his third season in the majors. Big guy, 5'10", 230. It's a nice throwing arm. Duffy had no problem with it.
That's Danny's third strikeout.
Use secondary pitches and the changeup. That's so when you use the fastball majority of the time, and you get 2 strikes on the batter, and you pull that string on him, that makes that pitch extremely effective. When you use the changeup away from the righty.
And righties have been an issue for Danny Duffy this year. It's gotten better over his last 3 starts, but the majority of his issues over his first 10 starts had to do with right-hand batters, not just getting hits, but getting a lot of extra base hits. So far, he has not allowed a hit yet to a right-hand hitter today. He got Simeon to ground out to short first time up.
Yeah, with a fastball, and that's good. He's getting outs on the heater. He's striking a batter out with him. He's got 3 strikeouts, but he's also making some contact outs. Changeup up.
Sped up on him, and Simeon rips it into the corner. Foul. Matt Williams, A's third base coach, turned to the A's third base dugout and motioned as if he was the manager to challenge, putting his hands over his ears.
Hang with him.
Yep. That was clearly foul.
My eyesight.
So that close to hitting a home run, and now down he goes looking, and Simeon has a word or two for Tony Randazzo, but that pitch looked like it was inside the box. 2 down.
Yeah.
Now batting center fielder.
He didn't want to go, but he's got to there. 84. That's a good looking pitch. Down low. You don't want to go back. You better hack.
That's a good call by the home plate umpire, because the momentum of that pitch took Salvi's glove down around his knees. So when the hitter tracks the ball into the catcher's glove and he sees it that low, I think there's not every single umpire will call that a strike, but it's where the pitch crossed the front edge of the plate.
Tony Randazzo did and made a good call. Look at that good breaker. See the words out in the Oakland A's dugout. Fastballs. Look for fastball. Look for fastball. That's why you get a swing like that. Like Kahana just took. Guess.
One and two. Well, Canna should be ready for fastball. Danny struck him out with that pitch in the first inning. Danny has 4 in his first 2 2/3 innings. Lays off the change. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2. Mark Canha is not an everyday player, mostly because his so-called cold zones have been on inside pitches. One of the lowest batting averages in the major leagues on inside pitches. He does much better against lefties and righties. And he comes back after falling behind in the count and reaches on Duffy's second walk today.
Now batting second baseman.
And now Jed Lowry, who was also a strikeout victim his first time up. A little bit low for ball 1. Backdoor sliders in for a strike. With Lowry's strikeout in the first inning, he is 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts in this series. He was one of the better players in the American League through April, but has really cooled off since May 1st. And now he chops it up the middle and Goins over to Moustakas, and that will end the inning. So Duffy opens with 3 scoreless, and it's still 1-0 KC. The Centennial Club, which is a premier all-inclusive experience, remains the only way to guarantee a seat for the weekend rounds. Visit PGAchampionship.com for more information. One 0 Royals on Apollo Orlando RBI single. It'll be Dozier, Escobar, and Goins in the 4th inning. Dozier with 2 on and 2 out in the 1st inning took a called 3rd strike. And that is Chris Bassett's only strikeout so far today.
Get over!
Over to Olson. He'll go to the bag himself, 1 away.
You know, you mentioned the hazy skies to start the game. Sun's starting to peek through a little bit more. And what a break for a fielder when there's haze, you know, like you mentioned, the clouds in the sky. It really takes away. But now with the sun coming out and the wind is really whipping here in the Bay Area today, that's going to affect fly balls. So run them out, because you never know if that ball drops. Get that extra base. Could make the difference between a win or a loss.
Escobar flied to center field in the 2nd inning. Two and 0. This is the 4th start for Bassett against the Royals. I mentioned they've seen him before with the White Sox and the A's. And the Royals have a few hitters who've done well against him in the past. Eske is one of them. So maybe Bassett will get Eske going again. He's had a tough trip. Just 2 for 20. One of his hits is a home run. Part of the normal ebb and flow of a 6-month baseball season.
Better believe it.
There's, you know, and I'll put myself in that category too, but, you know, Ned Yost gets questions all the time from members of the media, trying to find creative ways to figure out why someone's hot or why someone's cold.
Yep.
Eske's on with a 1-out walk. And Ned, a baseball lifer, if you will, as a player, coach, and manager, just kind of defers to, look, that's just the way the season goes. I mean, sometimes you're hot, sometimes you're cold. And I guess the key is that you don't necessarily accept when you're going cold, but you don't want to panic and, you know, start changing your mechanics and doing things different just because, you know, you're 2 for your last 20.
Yeah, most of the time depends on how anal you are and how much you think about situation, how much it bothers you, that you're going to dissect everything. Look at those hands.
Safe at 2nd, out at 1st. So Ned put on another hit and run, and Chapman thought he still had a chance to get Escobar at 2nd base. So it's 5-4-3, but only 1 out.
Yeah, and he relied on his fast arm and quick release, and he has both of those, does Chapman, but not that time. So now let's see if they can make it hurt. Paulos, he's the hot guy. He's stepping in the box right now. Phantom double play there. That's one thing. If somebody could figure out how to keep a hitter hot in this game of baseball, that guy would own the whole game. Just can't figure it out. Some hitters have, you know, years where it's a career year and everything goes right for them, but not very often. Just love it when a hitter's swing is controlled. It means he's not trying to do too much, and when you try to do too much, you pull off the ball. This is a 2-seam fastball that's right there, you know, and he's just got a good level swing. Nice little top hand follow through and take off. Do the same thing. Look in the same area.
Out to Simeon. Throw is offline. And the out was called at first. The first base umpire, Bill Welke, said that Paulo was out on a tag by Olson. Now, the home plate umpire, Tony Randazzo, was not aware of that, so he called the out at home plate. But the Royals are interested in what happened right here.
I thought that they were both safe. It's just my opinion. He missed with the tag there. See the umpire, Welke didn't look like he had a great angle. You could hardly see it from that angle as well. But this is one that you might want to review.
And review both plays.
Yeah.
Ned might say, look, we want to challenge the play at first, because if Paulo is safe, then there was a play at the plate. If Paulo's out, well, then the inning's over. It doesn't matter what happened at home plate. You could also rule here that Paulo was safe and there still was an out at home plate. But you're right, both were close plays.
I thought Eskey's foot got in at home as well before the tag by Fegley.
And so the crew chief, Bill Welke, he went over and had a visit with Ned, and now Bill Welke is describing that before they put the headphones on. I didn't even come close to getting Paulo there.
There you go.
That's safe. But then here's what happened at the plate.
He's got to carry the tag down through. Did he tag him by the time he got to his foot? Tough angle. And Eskey's pointing right away. He thought his foot beat it. This will be an interesting replay here. So the connoisseur of replay has a bonus call here. He gets 2 maybe. Let's see what they do. Did his foot get there? I think so. There's the tag there on his hip. But think so and looks like don't work. This is a good situation for me if you have a field microphone and they tell the fans what they're doing and what they're replaying. Just my opinion.
At some point, they need to get to that. I mean,
that's my opinion, that's all.
Because it's easy to get confused even when the ball is in play and something unique happens on the field and an umpire will just make up some sort of a sign and we don't really know exactly what's going on. So the Royals are challenging both. They just showed the first play up on the video board to no applause. I think the fans realized there was an out there. Now they're looking at the second play. The second play is going to be determined when did Fegley make contact with Escobar. If it's there, he's safe. If they believe he made contact with him sooner than that, then you could make a case that he was out or the call stands. So the difference between the Royals leading 2-0 and still batting, or inning over 1-0 Royals.
Regardless, Ned Yost has the best replay coordinator there is in baseball, Bill Duplessis. He's going to figure one of them out, and he has the highest rate. Major League best 72.8 success rate over the last 3 seasons for Bill.
And in the meantime, we get to hear an endless loop of Rockwell and Michael Jackson's "I Always Feel Like Somebody's Watching Me," which takes me back a few years.
Sure, it does. Takes Mel back too.
This has gone so long that the loop has run out.
Now, hey, how about that? This is little Michael Jackson. That's Jackson 5. Is that who that is? This,
no.
You missed him here. Oh, my bad.
Stay in your lane, Hud.
I'm sorry. It's a little before me. I don't know.
Maybe I'm seeing these through royal blue lenses, but I'm seeing safe in both places.
I agree.
Safe at first, out at the plate. And now Ned's going to come out and talk to Bill Welke about it. So, no runs, 1-0 Royals to the bottom of the fourth. Six. So that allows Paulo Orlando to reach. And then Escobar is out 3-2 at home plate. Now, interesting, even though the Royals challenged both plays and they were right on one, the other one stands, Ned Yost still has his challenge. So at first base, it was overturned. The play at the plate stands, and the Royals retain their challenge, just in case you're scoring at home.
Yeah, that was good. It would have been nice if they'd have counted the run, called him safe.
One and two on Chris Davis. He grounded out to second base in the second. He'll be followed by Matt Olson and Matt Chapman. Danny Duffy has only given up a single in his first 3 innings, and he's walked 2. And after all those fly ball outs in Anaheim, he's been a ground ball strikeout pitcher for the most part today. Fastball by him at 92, and that's 5 strikeouts for Duffy.
Our Mo Lottery replay shows Duffy from just raring back and firing. Now, it wasn't the hardest fastball of the afternoon, velocity-wise, but again, nice location. In to righties is good. Even if it's in to back them off the plate, knock them down, any of those, that is very effective for this changeup. That's another excellent pitch for Duffy on the outside part of the plate.
Oh, and 1 on Matt Olson. He grounded a base hit into center field in the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. He homered in game 1 on Thursday, and then he was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night. That after hitting 4 home runs in his first 4 games against the Royals. And when he gets into one, he hits it a long way. Our Toyota League leaders, highest average distance for a home run, that belongs to Matt Olson. 423 feet for an average when he goes deep. That's with a minimum of 10 home runs this year. Olson has 13. At the knees at 95. Make it 6 strikeouts for Danny Duffy.
Nicely done. Look at that. Woohoo! That's cheese at the knees, folks. 95. Olson, you got to go. Yeah, look at that. You have no chance.
Chapman walked his first time up. I brought it up on Thursday night when Brian Bannister was with the Royals. He swore that this mound was higher than any other mound in the major leagues and just felt good standing on the mound even before he'd throw his first pitch. Left field sinking, and it drops in front of Alex Gordon. Chapman is on with 2 down. And Danny Duffy has some fond memories of this mound. He got his first major league victory here back in June of 2011 in his 6th career start. And always seems to pitch well when he stands on this mound. He has never lost here. And in his 4 previous starts at the Coliseum, the Royals have won all 4 of those. Fouled away by Piscotty. Scoop by Salvi. That keeps Chapman at first base.
Sure was. You know, just thinking about the numbers that you just talked about with Duffy and the familiarity with the mound and how he likes it, never lost here. I mean, those are all big things. That pick was nice there. That was a big thing. But you know, with all of the numbers that we have and that Major League Baseball has now available to players, media, fans, that's a ton. Now, you'd be surprised. I ask a lot of the players, do you read all this stuff about what they say you do and what you don't do? And they say most of them I asked said no. I don't spend a lot of time on that because that just is paralysis by analysis. Stuff I don't need to know. I just pick out a couple of things that I like, which is good. That way you can just pick out, but you can't dwell on things because sometimes it enters your mind and it'll never leave. And you can't have that when you're playing this game at this level. Eliminate the thinking.
Escobar will go to first and get Piscotty, and that ends the inning. So we've played 4. It's still 1-0 Royals.
Hey, what's up, A's fans?
folks. Purchase 20 or more tickets for a single game and receive a 20% discount. Group tickets are available for all home games, and groups of 20 or more can save big. Suites and party areas are also available on a nightly basis, so plan your company event or get together with friends or coworkers today. Email groupsales@royals.com to start planning your next big event.
Change-up strike from Chris Bassett to Ramon Torres, who is flied out to left field. Top of the order to follow.
Always liked Torres since he got here, and the reasons is that he's number one, he's happy to be here. He's got a smile, he hustles, and he has some skills. He's got some tools. He's impressive from the right side or the left side, uses his hands, puts the ball in play, and if he had a chance to be an everyday player, I believe he could handle it. Because he's simple, he keeps it simple. He's got good speed, he can run, and he can play some good defense. I think he's a nice utility type player. It's a good pitch there.
That's Bassett's second strikeout. Fox Sports Kansas City and the Des Moines Radio Group are bringing Des Moines' best fans to Kauffman Stadium on the Rays Royal Fan Express on June 16th. So a week from today. For more information, go to royals.com/fan express. And speaking of a week from today, the Royals will be hosting the Astros. Homestand begins on Tuesday. Cincinnati will be in for 2. Houston over the weekend, followed by 3 with Texas. Two and 0. Witt has gone back up the middle against Bassett twice today with a single and a fly out to deep center. Two and 1.
Had a chance to sit down with Witt in the Royals Price Choppers pregame show, and interesting to talk about, does he know always what position he's going to play when he comes to the ballpark? And he said he knew about today because Ned tipped him off last night, but lots of times he comes in and he doesn't know where he's playing that day, and that adds a little bit of excitement to your job. And all of a sudden Bassett's getting the Royals on some off-speed pitches here. It's a slow bender, and it has some pretty good bite to it. It starts up around the neck and ends up at the feet.
Mike Moustakas has line to third and line to left. So he's taken an off-speed pitcher the other way, which you want to do against a pitcher of this style, but right to Chapman at third and Pinder in left.
How about last night when Moose hit his 13th home run? Montas had just got through chewing himself out. Big count, 3-2. And Moose, he knew it was coming. Man, that's a third good swing in a row. Wow, and nothing to show for it.
Bottom of the 5th, still 1-0 Royals.
been so good. Like it. He's getting his strikeouts. That's nice to see. He's got 6 on the afternoon, but outs are important, whether they're strikeouts or not, and he's getting them. Fly balls, ground balls, it's working. He's trusting his fastball. 3 starts ago, he said, I've got to get back to that. Here we are, 53% heaters. It's looking pretty good. Finish him off with some breaking balls, doing everything he can to keep his team in the game. His offense got to get him some more runs, though.
Chad Pinder takes ball 1. He is 0 for 1.
Nice to see Duffy back on the beam again.
One ball, 1 strike. He's hitting .240 overall, but 3 for his last 27. A little behind that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So, you know, when you're in a slump like that, we've talked about slumps earlier tonight, or today's game. It's nice if sometimes you can get the broken bat hit, or you can get the bunt base hit to kind of get yourself going. But Duffy's now struck out his 7th batter. You got to have those things. And today I got a text from my son who's off playing ball, travel ball somewhere, and he says, Dad, I can't hit. And he texted me that. So after the game, I'll use some words. I'll try to select some words, which is a shocker. I could be selective with my words. And I'm going to try to encourage him in so many words. But welcome to baseball, son. That's the way the game is. And if you let that sink in, look at this easy. Let's see Moose at first. No problem. Moose has been getting some good balls to catch so far. If you let the negativity sink in your head and you keep telling yourself you can't hit, you won't. You've got to find some way. And you know what else he mentioned? I miss hugs. Dad, Mom's not here, you're not here. I miss hugs. So welcome to the real world, young man. You'll be out someday and you won't be getting any hugs from anyone. So hang with them.
So much for no negative thinking. Jeez.
No, I just was sharing that with you.
Don't let that negative thinking set in, son. But you know what? Guess what? There are no hugs for you out there in the real world.
When you get out there, you better be ready to toughen it up, man. Yeah. No, this game will work you. Moose is getting some good throws today. No, so far they're being kind to him, but I'd like to see him test him. But he can trust those hands, and he finally gets to use his own glove over there at first.
Goins is out, and he makes a sliding over the head catch.
Oh, that was nice. There, he saw it all the way. Look at him bend that neck. Oh, and Duffy says, I'm going to give you a tip.
Because it's time.
From Independence, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park this inning, Tim wins $1,700. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Tim wins 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals.
Oh, we know you can use it, Tim. Duffy could use it, the run support.
0-2. Perez, Gordon, and Dozier are coming up. How about a sonic slam in this inning into the first row in right field? Or straightaway center field. Oh, wow, that ball was kissed.
Oh. He stepped all over that one.
Now, the reason why I want a sonic slam to the first row in right field is because that's where Joel is sitting.
Hey, you know, I gotta come out here at least once every trip. Everybody says, really, you're gonna go out there? Yeah, we come out here every single year, and a lot of the same folks keep on showing up. Santino here is 7, so we talk about the next generation. Give us some beat over there. He can drum now. He's getting a little bit shy, but listen, these fans, guys, no matter what goes on with news with the A's, they keep on showing up. And if you think about this area, we've talked about it a little bit. The Warriors are leaving in a couple of years to go over to San Francisco. The Raiders basically have one more year playing here in this stadium because their lease is up after next season. They'll probably go play at UNLV for a year before their stadium is ready in Oakland. As for the A's and their future, and these fans have heard it over and over again, still to be determined. The A's had set a deadline for the end of the year. It's looking like they might end up doing something right here in this complex. There's talk about on the waterfront too, but that is complicated. But over and over again, these fans have heard a new stadium eventually, but they don't know when and they don't know where. But the thought is that they probably end up staying here.
2-2 on Alex. Now here comes the rally drumming with 2 strikes on the opposing hitter.
Yeah, they'll get that going. You guys got a little 2 out, 2 strike, I should say, drum beat there.
There we go. I call it a rally for the Royals.
Nice work, Joel.
Tried. Wow. I'm going to tell
Hope
Alex.
you're happy with yourself.
I'm going to tell Alex.
Yeah.
I'm telling Alex on it. It's okay, Joel. Don't get bummed.
Hey, guys, you think we could do a little 2-strike drumming here?
Yeah.
Way to go, Joel.
It's great to throw
Joel
him.
goes out there every year.
It's fun. Fun to throw him under the bus, too, sometimes.
Hunter Dozier has struck out and grounded out to first. The Royals are without a hit since the 2nd inning. Chris Bassett making his major league season debut. He hadn't pitched in the big leagues in over 2 years. It was April of 16. He hasn't won since August of 15. 2 balls, 1 strike. And his ERA at AAA was 6.10. So you can imagine the surprise for him when he got the call.
Yeah, look at him in the 6th inning, 77th pitch on the way. That's very efficient. He might have earned himself another start. No, that's not the same bat boy. He missed. That other bat boy never misses.
He's down 1-0 in the 6th inning, and he's probably used to this. He has the 2nd lowest run support average among current pitchers with at least 20 starts, just a shade over 3.
See your guy Joe Biagini on the list? Biagini?
I did see him in there.
Yeah.
be a genie.
All right. Dozier, good rip on the 92. Now, the ball does carry better in daytime here than it does at night, but with that wind swirling heavy like it is, and that ball Salvi hit, looked like he had enough to get it out of here on the line, but I don't know about today. That wind's pretty heavy. It swirls in here.
Fastball with late movement. Dozier takes a called third strike. That's 5 strikeouts for Bassett. He's only given up 1 in 6 innings. Danny Duffy and Chris Bassett. Bassett's given up 1 run in 6 innings. Duffy no runs in 5 innings, and Danny has struck out 7. In the air to left center field, playable for Alex, and he's got it. Marcana is 0 for 2 with a walk today. Remember, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can always stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. Now Jed Lowry, who's 0 for 2. Delayed call, but a strike from Tony Randazzo. Two big differences for Duffy today compared to Monday. We talked about all the fly balls. All 15 outs were in the air. He has only 3 outs in the air so far today. And then also on Monday, he did not strike out a single Angels hitter. He had gone 74 starts in between starts, or 74 starts in between outings without a strikeout. And now he has 7 in the first 5 innings today.
Interesting.
2-2.
This goes to show you in baseball, every day's a day.
Every day's a day.
No, you can't tell from one start to the next. You know, you could pattern after a while. The numbers will eventually even out. But I think just, you know, Duffy's all about winning for his team and helping his team win.
He's got a really good changeup today, but mostly fastball changeup and very effective with both. And now he has 8 strikeouts. And now Chris Davis, who is 0 for 2. And it's time for our sprint trivia question. Name the only player with 100 or more RBIs in each of the last 4 seasons. Chris Davis is on his way to his 3rd straight 100 RBI season. That's well hit to left field. Alex is there. We'll let you chew on that, as Duffy has a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. And now at the end of 6, still 1-0 Royals. The 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1 with every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. So now the world's biggest sporting event is just 5 days away, and it's only on Fox and FS1. Beautiful sunny day over in Oakland, California. And a beautiful sunny day over in San Francisco, where the Royals stay when they're in the Bay Area. It'll be Escobar, Goins, and Orlando in the 7th inning. The Royals lead 1-0, but they do not have a hit since Paulo Orlando drove in the run back in the 2nd inning. Into the right field corner, foul. That's Danny Coulombe, the only lefty in the A's bullpen, getting ready behind Chris Bassett, who's at 82 pitches. Bassett threw 89 a week ago today, pitching at AAA, but that only got him through 4 innings. Backhanded by Simeon, on the money, 1 down.
Fans, help us celebrate this special season of Royals baseball with the 50 Seasons Shirt Series presented by Charlie Hustle. Don't miss this exclusive t-shirt designed by Kansas City's favorite t-shirt brand, Charlie Hustle. Purchase your theme ticket to receive the 2nd t-shirt in the series on June 18th when the Royals host the Rangers. Tickets now available online at royals.com/theme tickets. Charlie Hustle.
Change up for a strike to Goins. Ryan doubled with 1 out in the 2nd inning, and then Paulo Orlando singled him home, and that is it. 1-0 Royals in the top of the 7th. 0-2. And Chris Bassett does not have a 20-pitch inning. So that's how he's at 85 total pitches with 1 out in the 7th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevor Cahill was supposed to start for the A's, and then we found out after the game last night that he had been scratched with an Achilles strain. The A's for now will not place him on the disabled list. But they already have a rotation full of guys that are out with injuries. Brett Anderson, Jarrell Cotton, remember he pitched that gem at Kauffman Stadium last year. Daniel Gossett, who pitched well last weekend at Kauffman Stadium. Andrew Triggs. And then Cahill, who's been scratched. Three and two.
Hey, Goins battling back in the count here. Let's see if they can get a runner on. Something happening here. Paulo Orlando coming up. If Goins could get on, little hit and run candidate there. Move him along. Give Duffy some more support here. Make it tight here late.
Slice to left, and Pinder is there for the out. Our Jeep drive of the game is our only run of the game. Paulo Orlando is down 1-2 with a runner at second in the second.
Ah, and that was a lovely one. It was up, and that's where hitters like it. Short, quick. It will knock Goins in.
Inside, ball 1. Base hit also snapped, an 0 for 14 for Paulo. One ball, 1 strike.
A little foul ball off the shin, but nothing like Soler took last night.
Had some good late movement with his fastball the past few innings. Use that fastball to right-hand batters, starting it outside, trying to get the hitter to give up on it. And then the late break going over the edge. Curveball got him swinging. So Bassett goes 7. He strikes out 6. And he has set down the last 9. so you can. Good pitching tonight. Here's our Pizza Ranch starters comparison. And it's very easy to compare. Chris Bassett's given up 1 run, 3 hits in 7 innings. Danny Duffy, no runs, 2 hits in 6 innings, and he has struck out 8.
Tester.
And it's Moustakas coming down from the right side as opposed to the left side of the infield as he's accustomed to, but he takes care of Matt Olson. And now Duffy's retired 11 of the last 12.
Moose, he's having a blast. Watch him. Until this, he goes, uh-oh. I got to keep my eye on it. Looks down once, looks down twice, and now by then, the ball almost came back on him, but he's able to snatch it with his first base glove. He's finally getting a chance to use. But he's been proud letting Whitley and Salvi for his start at first base use it. You know, he's happy. Community glove, what's mine is everyone's.
Matt Chapman has had a good year against the Royals this year. 2 hits today and a walk. And he's on with 1 out. HUD named the only player with 100 or more RBIs in each of the last 4 seasons. I've got a guy in mind. Looks like you do too. You go first.
Well, Edwin Encarnacion.
Is it Edwin Encarnacion? Strike 1. In the dirt to Stephen Piscotty.
I hope your guys think
is
it was
it
the one.
Nolan Arenado? Strike 2.
Uh-oh. We are possibly going to go down early tonight.
Well, and I got the kiss of death from Dave Holtzman, who said Ryan will get this easy. So.
Oh, nice confidence he has in me.
That is true. He didn't say Rex would get this easy.
It's all right, Olsen.
Two and 1 on Piscotty. Mike Trout missed a couple of months last year. Otherwise, he would have been an easy selection. Three and 1. Not every home run hitter drives in a lot of runs. However, we've got Giancarlo Stanton. We've got Nelson Cruz. You want to think about guys that are piling up big home runs.
Yeah. Okay, I like those guesses.
Runner goes, and that was ball 4. And now the A's have 2 on in an inning for the first time since the 2nd, when they got a 1-out single and a walk. And now here in the 7th, a 1-out single followed by a walk. That's Duffy's 3rd, and now he and Salvi, who've been playing together since they were 18 years old in rookie ball, will have a little chat.
Download the app, play for free, start your streak, and compete to win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS.
Pinder was late on a fastball. He is 0 for 2. Bryce Harper have 4 in a row.
Right.
No balls, 2 strikes on Pinder. Duffy struck him out with a changeup in the 5th inning. And down he goes on 3 pitches. So now Duffy, who didn't have a single strikeout in his start on Monday at the Angels in 5 innings, has a season high 9 in 6 2/3 innings.
That's right. You saw those 1, 2, 3 pitches going right after him. That's called attacking the strike zone with some conviction. That's right. Challenging him, saying, here it is.
Two on, 2 out to Josh Phegley. And Duffy has really been mixing him up all day today with his changeup, and he had him out in front of a first pitch changeup there.
Nice job piling up the strikeouts, but look, also, you know, managing his pitch count. He's doing a good job. Just get through this one here. Tight game.
One and 2.
The Moose trying to sneak in over there at first base behind Piscotty. Yeah, over there on the other hot corner. I guarantee you he's enjoying it today. Now he will, especially with a win.
That time Phegley laid off the changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chapman is at second. Piscotty's at first. The A's did not have a base runner in the first. They had 2 on with 1 out in the second. Only 1 base runner in the third. 1 in the fourth. None in the fifth. None in the sixth. And now 2 on with 2 out in the seventh. Phegley strikes out on a fastball, and that is 10 strikeouts for Danny Duffy in his 7 scoreless innings.
Go ahead, Duff. I'll get him some more runs. Here on a single. That was nice. And so far, it's been a very important run. Now, Chris Bassett, his first start in 2 years. And he really impressed his manager, Bob Melvin. 7 innings pitched. He was good. How about Duff? Duff was tough. Are you kidding me? And he's still in there as far as we know. That's 7 innings pitched, so 3 hits, 10 punch-outs. Duffy's back. Good to see that heater working. And he's getting congratulations, and I think Ned's probably saying you're done, but great job. That's exactly what we wanted out of you today. Keep us in the game. We're going to win. Help us break the streak.
So Danny Coulomb will come on, face Torres, Merrifield, and Moustakas. He's the only lefty that Bob Melvin has in his bullpen. He is a Chevy call to the bullpen, making his 23rd appearance.
Okay, there. You know, he's not too bad. He's doing a pretty good job. He's got some good sink to his fastball, 88 to 92.
Torres hits it into the sun, and Piscotty is there. Ramon is 0 for 3 today.
Winter's coming to the K on June 19th, believe it or not, as the Royals feature Game of Thrones night. Purchase a themed ticket to receive a special House Yost bobblehead featuring Ned on the Iron Throne. Purchase your ticket at royals.com/themed tickets and check out the winner we're going to have on June 19th. Ned.
Way outside to Witt, who opened the game with a single to center field. He is 1 for 3 today. But I think you have the answer to our trivia question.
What happened?
I got a whole list of guys. I don't feel great about any of them, but
So you liked one of the guys on my list I wrote?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's win.
I think you should go. I think you should go with it. I don't feel great about any of mine. And we're talking about the only major leaguer with 100 or more RBIs in each of the last 4 seasons. I wrote down Giancarlo Stanton, Nelson Cruz, Bryce Harper, Josh Donaldson, Paul Goldschmidt, but I think
the guy in our own division.
The guy in our own division, I think.
That's would be Jose Abreu.
Is it Jose Abreu? Nice. Correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
Nice work.
Thank you. Well,
so much for, well, Ryan will get this one easy.
Well, that's baseball. You just never know. Predictions, you know, you can predict until you actually get the answer, if that makes sense.
No.
Okay.
Made no sense at all, but good job on the trivia question.
Tester here. Oh, that wasn't hard. I mean, easy. Look at the sun. You see the shadow? The shadow tells me that was directly in the sun. Could have dropped that and kicked fair, but it didn't.
Now batting, number 8, Mike Moustakas.
Jason Adam getting out of the way.
See what Jason Adams doing down there, just kind of protecting the guys so they don't get hit by a hard liner. That was my job most of every game. Kind of, you know, just go help out.
Mike Moustakas could easily be 3 for 3. He is line to third, line to left, and line to center. One ball, one strike against Coulomb.
Got the curve and a changeup, along with the 88 to 92 mile-an-hour fastball.
One ball, 2 strikes. Another afternoon game tomorrow. It's the final game of the trip, and Brad Keller will make his 3rd major league start and go up against Sean Manaea. Coverage begins at 2:30 KC time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struck him out. And now A's pitching has set down the last 12 Royals, going back to the 4th inning. enjoying the day. He's our Pepsi fan of the game.
Yeah.
Sunny and comfortable day in Oakland.
Yep, he's got the right uniform on, too.
Kevin McCarthy is the Chevy call to the bullpen. He'll get the top of the A's order. Semien, Canna, and Lowry after Danny Duffy went 7 scoreless innings with a season-high 10 strikeouts. Slider strike to Semien. He is 0 for 3. So now Danny Duffy has 4 starts to build on, or continue to build from.
And he's feeling better and better about himself helping the team win. It's never been about him. He was so upset early in the season, and he was down because he felt bad for himself. I mean, for his teammates. He felt like he was letting them down. And, you know, he wasn't. He just was having a hard time figuring out which pitch was working for him until Ned told him, hey, look, or shared with him, you know, that fastball's a good pitch. Just stay with that.
Out to Torres at third. Over to Moustakas, who had to stretch into the line. 1 away. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Mark Canna, right-hand batter, will give way to Dustin Fowler.
0 for 2 as a pinch hitter off the bench this early in the season. Got to know that you got to hack, man. Once you swing, you get in the game, but he's young. He'll figure it out. It's the toughest job, no doubt. McCarthy challenge him with hard sinkers down. Let him hit it on the ground. Hopefully he had a Royal defender. Hard sinker, slider, curve change. Souvenir.
Three-pitch strikeout. And that's 11 strikeouts for Royals pitching today. 2 down in the 8th inning.
Look at there. That little hard sinking slider. He kept it off the plate. That's the idea. So if he does hit it, he might just foul it off or pop it up. Good spot.
Jed Lowry was 0 for 3 against Duffy with 2 strikeouts.
McCarthy, a fierce competitor. You like that. Guys with that type of makeup, they know they're all competitive, but some are more than others.
Right field. Dozier's on it. And he's got it. So McCarthy picks up where Duffy left off. And now the Royals have held the A's scoreless for 8. 1-0 KC. been Ryan Goins, and that is our only run. Yusmeiro Petit will pitch the 9th inning. A's pitchers Chris Bassett and Danny Coulombe have set down the last 12 Royals, and now Petit will get Salvador Perez, Alex Gordon, Hunter Dozier. Royals pitching today, Danny Duffy and Kevin McCarthy have combined for no runs, 3 hits. One night after the A's scored 7 runs on 11 hits.
Like it if they could just get a little more insurance here. Petit, he's kind of a strike throwing crafty righty.
Fowler just pinch hit for Canna in the bottom of the 8th, and now his first chance in center field. And Salvi is 0 for 4. Alex Gordon is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning.
Petit, he's going to challenge it. 86 to 92, good cutter, good cutting move, moves so both sides of the plate, curveball change. 6'1", 255. Reliable.
Chris Bassett, who was just called up from AAA, gave up 1 run in his 7 innings, and then lefty Danny Coulombe pitched a scoreless 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alex.
'31st appearance by Petit, most of any relievers on the team.
We were telling you a little more about his story when the A's were in Kansas City last weekend. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. Parts of 11 seasons with 5 different organizations. And then he was 1 strike away from a perfect game. Alex deep to right field, and he gives the Royals some insurance. A long home run. A 1-2 pitch, and Alex Gordon hit it into the 2nd tier of those lower bleachers in right field. It is 2-0 Royals.
That's right. You can't sneak a piece of cheese by a hungry rat. He tried to at 89. That's at the top of the zone and not advisable. Alex, watch this now. Lifts up his foot. He recognized it and he pulls his hands in. A little bit of back leg bend, which was nice. Helped him leverage it. And those 3 base hits he got last night, they were all 97 plus up and in, that he flared them out there, kept his hands inside the ball. And that's what you hear me talk about a lot, is that you stay inside the ball, go to the opposite field. That naturally will happen. He turned on it. Beautiful. That's a huge insurance run for this power hitting team they're playing.
Alex had gone 14 games without an extra base hit, and then he hits one a mile to right field.
Nicely done. So we know you want to see it. Let's see exactly how far it went, how hard it was hit, and the launch angle. 31-degree launch angle, 418. The projected distance, 102.6. Souvenir, and a nice insurance run, you hope.
Three and one on Dozier, with perhaps his last chance to extend his hitting streak. Modest at the moment at 5 games. He's also hit safely in 8 of his last 9. Right on a fastball and fouls it straight back. Kelvin Herrera is getting ready for Chris Davis, Matt Olson, and Matt Chapman. So 2 big bats to begin the bottom of the 9th.
Why is it always like that? Got a small lead. close down, so usually it's their best.
Dozier will settle for a walk. So Yusmeiro Petit, and it was on the other side of the bay. He was pitching for the Giants. 1 strike away from a perfect game in 2013. Eric Chavez, who played a long time for the A's, but was playing for Arizona, was the one that got the single. 2 outs, 2 strikes in the 9th, and the perfect game went down the drain and into the bay.
It's tough. That's got to be a real tough one.
Abraham Almonte will run for Dozier at first base with 1 out. Both managers really only have 2 guys on their bench today, and both have already used their non-catcher. The A's, in calling up Chris Bassett today, they sent Nick Martini, an outfielder, back to the minor leagues. So Bob Melvin had Dustin Fowler and Jonathan Lucroy. Now Fowler's into the game, and Jorge Soler is on the roster but really not available today. So Ned had Abraham Almonte and Drew Butera. Now Almonte's in the game. In the air to center field. Fowler makes a play. Almonte bluffs a tag, and he will hold. And now Ryan Goins, who scored the first run back in the 2nd inning after a double. Outside, ball 1. Two balls, no strikes. Interesting thing about Petit, 1 year after losing that perfect game, he broke the major league record by retiring 46 consecutive hitters.
Wow. That's a machine right there. I knew he was reliable for Melvin, but man, I didn't know he had that kind of track record. He deserves it. Oh. Had Almonte leaning. But you know, that's rewarding for a guy like that. Now we're looking at Almonte's leaning a little bit. Looked like he was going to go. Oh, Olsen slapped a tag on his right elbow. But you know, guy spent that much time believing in his dreams, never giving up, getting here and performing, doing something. And he does a nice job of holding runners. He knows exactly how to do it. That's what you do. Hold, 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 hold. And then go home, and then, or the next pitch, you just get set and go home. So you mix up your hold times. That messes up the jump of the base stealer. Monty looks like he wants to go with 2 outs.
Three and 0 on Goins. Paulo Orlando is on deck. Three and 1. Now we'll see what Almonte does here. Will he take off on 3 and 1 or wait until 3 and 2? Goins and Almonte have their eyes on Mike Jershely, who is actually in the coach's box.
That was 3-0 change.
Not running and hit in the air to center field. Fowler has all 3 putouts in the top of the 9th inning. Alex Gordon hits a long home run to right field. So Kelvin Herrera has a 2-run lead to the bottom of the 9th.
And after the game, Boulevard Royals Live coming up here in Oakland. I'm Joel Goldberg, and we'll talk plenty about Danny Duffy's big performance on the mound. 7 shutout innings, plus Alex Gordon batting cleanup, going deep with that insurance run. That, Ned Yost, and more coming up. Guys, how about this nugget from Dave Holtzman? As Danny Duffy, the 2nd Royals pitcher ever to have back-to-back starts of 0 and double-digit strikeouts. The other, Kevin Appier.
There you go. Very, very rare. So Duffy and Appier. And now Herrera. Big rip by Chris Davis, who was 0 for 3 against Duffy. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save.
Okay, Herrera's got to keep it out of the middle of the plate. That's for sure. This guy here can hit. He can hit a long ways, and will take the pop up.
Alex was very deep in left field, but he'll come on and call off Escobar. 1 away. Ball hung up there forever.
I don't ever remember seeing Escobar and Gordon collide. Do you?
No. Abraham Almonte stays in right field. They've probably bumped into one another, but I don't remember any kind of a violent collision. No. But they have played together for a long time.
Right, and see, there you go. Escobar waved his hands, and just because you do that, that's just a visible sign to the outfielder. But Alex, at the last minute, called him off. That's nice communication. Herrera got him on a changeup out front. Be careful here with Olsen. Fastball, slider, change, and really Herrera, he's not going to be careful with anyone. You don't ask a closer to be careful.
Well, this guy can hit one into the bay, and it's still a 1-run game.
Exactly. Go after him, attack him, you know, and use your stuff.
Kelvin Herrera has the lowest ERA in the American League, 0.75 after his first out here in the 9th. 1-2 against Olsen. He is not allowed a walk in his first 25 appearances to begin the season. That is a Royals record. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's unbelievable, really. I gotta just tell you, he has no fear level. He's going after people. He's confident. He's got excellent stuff with his pitches, and totally hasn't embraced the closing role.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Chapman is on deck.
I imagine he'll just go right after him here, challenge him.
And he does. 98 miles an hour. So for Herrera, that's 24 1/3 innings to begin the season without a walk. The next longest streak goes back to 1991 with a guy you may have played with, Mark Eichhorn. Started a season with 30 innings without a walk.
Ike is a great guy. Love him. You know, Mark Eichhorn was a 10-10 guy. There's not many of us around. 10 years in the minors, 10 in the majors. Him and Mike Easler are the only other players that I know of that had that much time in minors and majors. And I've tried to do some exhaustive research over the years, but that's hard to do. It's not logged minor league times. But still, Ike was a sidewinder. He was like a down under type thrower, right-hander. All right, let's see if Herrera can get the job done.
Danny Duffy went 7 scoreless. Kevin McCarthy a scoreless 8th, and now Royals are 1 strike away. And a broken bat changeup is going to result in an infield hit. That bat didn't break; it split. Like someone hit it with an axe.
Chapman, he's going good. Had himself a pretty good day today. And ball's down. That's funky too.
And right fielder, number 25, Steven Piscotty.
Nice try by Torres. It just got on the heel of his glove. If he pockets that, he might get up and throw him out.
And Kelvin right back in there with a fastball at 96. Piscotty is 0 for 2 with a walk. A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. And down to their last strike again. Herrera this year has given up 2 runs in 24 1/3 innings. .98. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. Let's see what Salvi's thinking here at the 2-2 pitch to Piscotty. Herrera shook off a couple of fastballs. He wants to go to the slider, and he strikes him out. So the Royals end the 6-game losing streak, and it's a combined shutout. Duffy, McCarthy, and Herrera in a 2-0 win.
Oh, it's over. Let's go, fellas. That away. Excellent job by Danny Duffy. Fantastic. closing job by Herrera there, as you see it, so he deserves a El Toro Ole. Hey, get off the schneid and get some win on this road trip. Well, how about another one tomorrow? They got one more before they head home. Good job. She scored just enough.
Well, we opened today talking about for the Royals to get a win against the A's, try and keep the ball in the ballpark. The A's hit 10 home runs in the first 5 games against the Royals this year, and the Royals did that and then some. And Royals pitching today